This is KVUE News Daybreak.
A showdown that many said lived up to the hype. Millions watched as former FBI Director James Comey testified in front of the Senate Intelligence Committee on Thursday. What we learned from his testimony. Shake-up overseas, what happened in the UK overnight, and why many are now demanding Prime Minister May step down. And thousands of bikers roaring into Austin for this year's annual Rot Rally, the road closures you need to know about if you're headed downtown in Austin this weekend. Good Friday morning, and thank you so much for joining us for KVUE News Daybreak. I'm Brian Mays. Yvonne is sleeping right now. She has the day off today. Erica's not, though. She's here wide awake with a look at our forecast for this Friday. It's going to be hot and humid, Erica.
Brian, you know with our hours it's hard to sleep in. I bet she's watching right now.
I bet she's not.
Yvonne. Hey, Yvonne. Well, hey, temperatures right now in the mid-70s, dew points in the 70s also. Relative humidity is really the factor that's going to be in our forecast the next several days in terms of heat index values on the dangerous side. Partly sunny afternoon after we're waking up to a mostly cloudy start to our day. Highs in the 90s, lower 90s though, but you factor in humidity, it'll feel like the mid-90s across some parts of the viewing area. Lockhart, San Marcos, a toasty afternoon for you guys. Stay hydrated out there. Here's a sneak peek at your weekend forecast. Heat index values will be an issue all weekend long. And Avit's keeping us updated on the roads for your Friday morning commute.
Absolutely. Good morning, Erica, and good morning to everyone at home. If you're just tuning in and you are about to head out the door, just make sure that you check out these cameras because you're going to have a wonderful drive. No major accidents to report this morning. You can see here where I'm giving you the green light for most of the Austin metro area. But let's go ahead and talk about some closures that you need to watch out for today. Starting at 10 a.m., you will experience some closures on MLK and Guadalupe lanes. This will last until Monday at 5 a.m. This is all due to them removing a crane in the area between Wittes and 20th Street. So just watch out for that this morning. Also, because of the Republic of Texas rally that's happening tonight at 7:45, they're going to close down Congress from 6 p.m. until Saturday 12 a.m. And also the side streets from Colorado to Brazos. So a big closure happening this weekend. So just make sure that you're also aware of the motorcycles that are out there and drive safely and use caution. Brian, back to you.
And Avit, thank you. The roads that will remain open will likely be filled with plenty of motorcycle riders and pedestrians, many coming to town for the Rot Rally and Parade that has been coming to town for decades now. KVUE's Jay Wallace joins us live at the Travis County Expo Center to explain a bit of the history behind this massive event. Jay?
Yeah, that's right, Brian. Even this early in the morning as we've been out here, we've seen some motorcycles drive by. We've heard them revving up. And even behind me, you can see right here, police have already taped off the interest here on Decker Lane as this event has continued to get more and more popular through its 23 years of existence. Rot Rally co-founder Jerry Bragg says this entire event started with a call from Harley Davidson. The motorcycle manufacturing company recruited 5 people to put together the rally, which started with 4,000 attendees in its first year, and this weekend organizers are expecting close to 40,000. And for Bragg, he can't help but be surprised and excited to see how far it has come.
Well, it makes your chest swell up, of course, and every year we work hard at this and we're tired at the end, but when you hear those first bikes come in and you stand around and you see all the people having fun, it's just hard not to do it again.
And tonight, towing on Congress Avenue will begin at 4 in the afternoon, while the parade is set to begin at 7:45 here at the Travis County Expo Center. And of course, for all the drivers out there this weekend, make sure to be extra cautious as there will be an increase in motorcycles. And as is the case for any weekend through September, a no refusal will be in effect. Live in Austin, Jay Wallace, KVUE News.
Already hear those motorcycles firing up, Jay, thanks. All new overnight, police investigating after a man was killed in northeast Austin. This happened last night. Police say they received a call around 10 about an incident near Highway 290 and Springdale Road at the Reserve at Walnut Creek. Officials are working to find a cause of death and motive for the killing. No one's been arrested, so police are asking people to stay alert. If you see anything suspicious, be sure and call police. Happening today, the man accused of killing a University of Texas student on campus and injuring 3 others last month is set to appear in court today. A judge is still waiting to see if Kendrick's White is fit to stand trial for murder. His mental state at the time of the attack will be the main subject of today's hearing. White's attorneys could argue he's not guilty by reason of insanity. According to the Statesman, this could determine if he serves a sentence in a mental health facility or in prison. The final poll numbers coming in this morning in the UK election. British Prime Minister Theresa May called an early election to try and increase her party's majority in Parliament. But the plan backfired. The Conservative Party lost its majority. Now pressure is mounting for May to resign. However, British news agencies say the Prime Minister will not step down.
The shifting explanations confused me and increasingly concerned me. He had repeatedly told me I was doing a great job and he hoped I would stay.
This morning, the latest fallout from former FBI Director James Comey's testimony. Comey accusing the president and his top aides of lying, also suggesting the president wanted special treatment in exchange for loyalty. And around 5 a.m. this morning, President Trump responded on Twitter. The tweet reading, quote, "Despite so many false statements and lies, total and complete vindication, and wow, Comey is a leaker," end quote. The president also getting his personal attorneys involved. ABC's Lana Zach has more on Comey's testimony and the response it's getting.
The bombshell James Comey testimony brought a new spate of headlines.
I was honestly concerned that he might lie about the nature of our meeting. I asked a friend of mine to share the content of the memo with a reporter. I've seen the tweet about tapes. Lordy, I hope they're tapes.
For 2.5 hours, Comey painted a picture of an FBI director trying to navigate murky waters as the president tried to exert his influence. Comey recalling a meeting in which the president allegedly said of the Flynn investigation, "I hope you can let this go."
I took it as a direction. Right. I mean, this is the President of the United States with me alone saying, I hope this. I took it as this is what he wants me to do.
The president's personal attorney disputed much of Comey's testimony.
The president also never told Mr. Comey, quote, "I need loyalty. I expect loyalty," close quote.
While the Republican Speaker of the House came to President Trump's defense in a different way.
He's new to government, and so he probably wasn't steeped in the long-running protocols.
Comey did confirm that he had reassured the president he was not personally under investigation, but it did not save his job.
It's my judgment that I was fired because of the Russia investigation. That is a very big deal.
The president himself is keeping mum, at least for now.
Mr. President, any reaction to Comey's testimony? Any reaction at all?
Thank you very much. Sir.
But that silence on the part of the president is unlikely to last long. Overnight, the White House announced he will be holding a joint press conference scheduled for 2:45 later today. Lana Zach, ABC News, Washington.
After the testimony, a lot of people talking about one senator's questioning in particular. Senator John McCain of Arizona seemed to stumble through what he was asking. Take a listen.
You're going to have to help me out here. In other words, we're complete the investigation of anything that former Secretary Clinton had to do with the campaign is over, and we don't have to worry about it anymore?
With respect to Secretary, I'm a little confused, Senator. With respect to Secretary Clinton, we investigated criminal investigation in connection with her use of a personal email server.
I understand.
Now, the 80-year-old senator blamed his confusion on a lack of sleep, saying, quote, "Maybe going forward I shouldn't stay up late watching the Diamondbacks night games." He went on to say, "What I was trying to get at was whether Mr. Comey believes that any of his interactions with the president rise to the level of obstruction of justice." The family of 2 victims killed in a balloon crash in Lockhart last summer are calling for change. Last July, a hot air balloon crashed into a field after hitting power lines, killing 16 people on board, including the pilot, Alfred Skip Nichols. According to toxicology reports, Nichols was intoxicated at the time of the crash. This after taking multiple prescription medications. Now, family members of the victims have created a petition calling for more regulations regarding hot air balloons. The link to the petition is on our website. You can find that at KVUE.com. Now, an NTSB hearing on the crash is scheduled for this fall in mid-October. 6:09 now, and across central Texas, more people are coming forward with their hefty toll bills. Yesterday, we talked about an Army serviceman who came home to a $27,000 bill after more than a year overseas, and now others are sharing their stories. From May of 2016 to January of this year, Kiona Morrison Allen's husband was working as a military contractor overseas. While he was away, she says she got a bill from TxDOT for $1,400 for the tolls she went through and accrued. She says when she called to pay, she was told it had been sent to collections. When she called collections, they told her she couldn't pay it because she wasn't the account holder.
So I called and they're like, well, it's in his name. You can't call on his behalf. I was like, I'm his wife. No, we had to speak to him. I asked questions like, can I make arrangements? But I wasn't him, so they wouldn't let me do it. And now they're basically just wanting the whole $24,000.
Allen says almost $25,000 worth of administrative fees have been added to the bill. She says she's not opposed to paying the bill, just not tens of thousands of dollars in fees. KVUE reached out to TxDOT. We have not yet heard back on this particular case. Time now to get a check of that forecast for this Friday. A lot of people want to know what the weekend's going to be like. Erica has the answer. Hey, Erica.
Hey there, Brian. Well, the weekend is going to be toasty and a little bit sticky also. Starting this morning, we're feeling the humidity, dew points in the 70s, and so are temperatures. So it's warm and muggy out there. Mostly cloudy start to our day. Some of those clouds should burn off this afternoon, and we should end up with a partly sunny afternoon. Here's a look at your forecasted highs. 90s across the board, if not about a degree shy, possibly in the hill country. That may be our coolest spot. So any pool plans for this Friday? I highly recommend it to stay nice and cool. Forecasted high here in Austin, 91 degrees. A small spotty shower is possible this afternoon, but I think the majority of us should be in the clear. A 20% chance of an isolated shower. Brian, back to you.
Erica, thanks a lot. We all know Cowboy quarterback Dak Prescott is great at scoring touchdowns, but now he's running the ball all the way back to college. Prescott announcing he plans to get his doctorate in psychology. He already has a bachelor's degree in educational psychology and a master's in workforce leadership from Mississippi State University. The sports star saying he's getting his degrees, and it's not just giving him something to fall back on, it's actually helping him out on the field as well. Good for him. A Southwest Airlines pilot hanging up his wings after a decades-long career. How this history-making captain spent his last day in the air. You don't want to miss this story. Stay with us.